Hey, can't wait for this to get blocked.
Mm-hmm. And then unblocked.
And then unblocked. So we got Little Mix. Love. This just looks like it just premiered yesterday.
Sweet Love.
I've been waiting patiently like all my life. Yeah, nobody ever seems to get it right. Feels like I'm the only one who knows just what I like. What can I say? I just can't help it. Tonight I'm feeling selfish. What I do, shouldn't I should know. It's just human nature, yeah. Do I invalidate you? I don't need your love to love me.
I love how each of them have their own throne. It seems like, and they all have like I wonder if that, like that thing that's on their head, if that's a play on like a goddess reference, because I forgot where I've seen it before.
I've seen Beyonce wear it.
Yeah, I've seen Beyonce wear it also. So I guess it's just a queen symbolism, because I wasn't sure if it was like a queen symbolism or like a goddess.
I want to say I've seen it on Cleopatra too, like in a movie.
So it could be Egyptian symbolism.
Do I invalidate you? I don't need your love to love me. My own celebration, yeah. So close stimulation, yeah. Use my imagination. I don't need your love to love me. I've been spending time on everybody else. It's time I did it for me. Sweet love, oh baby. Never kept my magic all to myself. So now I'm gonna give it to me. When it's said and done, I'm gonna show me some love, sweet love. I'm gonna give it to me. Give me some of that love, sweet love. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to me. Give me some of that love, sweet love. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to me. Give me some of that.
And the play is like, so you see these guys like essentially like jesters. They're like dancing in front of them, trying to entertain them, and they're pretty much getting shot down and rejected.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially saying that all the sweet love, they're just gonna get it from themselves. They don't need to be entertained by men.
Yeah, I love that message because they talk about how they're the only ones that really know what they want, which is so true. So instead of looking elsewhere, just, love yourself.
Just
As cliche as that sounds.
just be self-satisfied. I feel like that'll only last for so long.
Show me some love, sweet love. I'm gonna give it to me. Give me some of that love, sweet love. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to me. Give me some of that love, sweet love. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to me. Give me some of that sweet love. I'm gonna show me some love. And I've been thinking I should spend a little more time on me. I like him, but he ain't nothing but a guy to me. Oh no. Me and my tips gonna get me all I need. What can I say? I just can't help it. Tonight I'm feeling selfish. What I do shouldn't face you, no. It's just human nature, yeah. Do I invalidate you? I don't need your love to love me. Be my own celebration, yeah. So no stimulation, yeah. Use my imagination. I don't need your love to love. It's spending time on everybody else. It's time I did it for me. Oh baby, never kept my magic all to myself. So now I'm gonna give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. I'm gonna show me some love, sweet love.
Is it just me or the the Darkseid one's pregnant, right?
Both of them look pregnant.
Both of them look pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they weren't getting that love sweet love by themselves, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to me. Give me some of that sweet love. I'm gonna give it to me, baby. Sweet love, love, sweet love. Give me some of that. Give me that. Love, sweet love. Give me that. Give me that. Love, sweet love. For me. Love, sweet love. I'm gonna show me some.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like it's such a it's very appropriate for the times, I think, because like right now, like the feminist movement has become very widespread. I think it's funny, like we just watched Cruella, and that was one of the many themes in that story too, was like that, like you had this monarch, and at the top was essentially like a baroness, but like you can see her as like a queen with total power, and then you have Cruella on her rise to the top.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's a very prevalent theme. You see it a lot, TV shows, movies, music videos.
And it's also perfect that Little Mix was singing a song about that, because most of their songs are about female empowerment. Like the one with Stormzy, remember? I think it was called Power.
Yeah, no, you're right. A lot of, at least the ones that we've heard, a lot of what we've heard is very, very like uplifting.
Yeah, and I love that because, there's some cultures that still embed the importance of, being with a man and having someone to, like fulfill your life, which
Yeah.
is such an archaic, way of thinking. So I love that, these songs are, I don't know if it's like readily available, but it's on YouTube and like people are listening, and Little Mix is huge. So just imagine like the future generations of especially women realizing their power and realizing that like they don't need someone to make them happy. I think that's something that like as a kid I was never brought up to believe, and so that's something that I had to learn on my own.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you definitely have to. I would think that the proper order, if there is one, would be like you being happy independently, and then like maybe pursue a relationship after that. But you have to do it independently first, because if not, like you're always like codependent on someone to be happy, which is going to be very difficult to live that way, because like if you're always getting your love from outside of yourself, then it just becomes just a never-ending feeling of like needing that validation.
Or having that balance of like self love, but also love from your circle of friends and family, because you also don't want to grow up to be like a narcissist. No one's gonna like you.
Right. I mean, and also like we're social creatures, right? So you have to have some validation from the social environment.
Yeah.
Like you can't just it's nearly
It's hard.
impossible just
Yeah.
to have like internal validation all the way around. Like you have to have, like you want to feel important amongst, like you said, like your circle or work, or like some level of acceptance in society. It feels good whether you want that or not. You kind of, I would argue that you kind of need that too.
And isn't it interesting that they're in the greenhouse? Like when I think of a greenhouse, I think of, plants and whatever is being grown in this vicinity that's, still in something, but there's still, sun being exposed. And I think about how that symbolizes what they're talking about. Like they're talking about self-love, and I don't know, I just thought that it was interesting that it was all in a greenhouse.
Yeah, I think that also like represents like Mother Nature, right? Like in the video, they're essentially like, I guess you could say a queen or a goddess, which you can say that about like Mother Nature, right? Like the ultimate female. And then like two of them are, at least one, are pregnant.
Two of them were definitely pregnant,
Okay,
for
so
sure.
so like Mother Nature, like it produces growth, just like women produce growth. That's why it's called Mother Nature. It couldn't be Father Nature because they don't like they're not the ones like creating within their body like a female does. Like she's creating within her body, obviously with the help. Right. You know, I mean, you see that with like female bees and shit like that. So I think it was appropriate when you think of like nature, greenhouse, them being pregnant. I think it was pretty thought out.
But still, like, contained.
Right.
Because they could have done it outside. But I think it was very deliberate that it was looking in a greenhouse.
Right. And then they still had the men because, you know, like they need the men to like procreate. So like we got to throw them in the video somewhere. They might not be like significant or important, but they're there, yeah. So like just to show the people like they are needed, right?